Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm gonna be doing the mid-year book tag. I'm definitely late, like a month, but in my defense, I've had a lot of stuff to do with school and everything, and I just couldn't film it before, but I'm finally filming it now. I'm only gonna take in consideration the books that I read before July 2nd. I have read like 3 books since, but I'm not gonna count those in just because technically they are from the second half of the year. So anyways, let's get started. The first question is, what's the best book you've read so far? So to me, the answer is definitely The Reappearance of Rachel Price by Holly Jackson. I know that some people haven't loved this book as much as her other books. I've only read A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by her, but I really liked it. However, to me, this one was better. This one was a 5 star, and A Good Girl's Guide to Murder was a 4.5. And honestly, I really liked it. I loved Belle. I loved her character. I felt like everything that she did was justified in a way that I felt like I understood exactly why she was doing everything. And I don't know, I just loved her and the story and the ending. It was so good and I just absolutely loved it. Question number 2 is, what's the best sequel you've read so far? So I actually haven't read any sequels this year. I've started a few series, but I just haven't continued them yet. I want to get better at that and read more sequels the rest of the year, especially with the series that I'm really close to finishing. It would be really nice to kind of just continue with these stories that I know that I care about. Question number 3 is, new release you haven't read yet but want to. To me, it has to be I Hope This Doesn't Find You by Anne Liang. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right. I just really love her other book that I've read by her. I'm going to talk about it later. And I just feel like she writes very cute rom-coms, almost like a C-drama or a K-drama, and they're just really cute. And I would love to read this one. I feel like the premise is so much fun. It's basically about a girl who writes like angry rant emails, but she never sends them, but she accidentally ends up sending them to the whole school. They're like hate emails. Most of them are to this guy, the love interest, I assume, and they kind of form like a friendship or something because of the emails that she sent. I don't really know that much about it, but I know that it sounds cool, and she said that it's similar to All the Boys I've Loved Before, and I love that book and that movie, so I'm really excited for this book. The fourth question is the most anticipated release for the second half of the year. For me, it's gonna have to be Such Charming Liars by Karen McManus. She's an Insta by Autobi author for me. I just love her and her work, and it's just very fun mysteries, but that are also not like super dark. So I'm always excited to see like what she's gonna write every year, and I just love her books. Question number 5 is, what's the biggest disappointment of the year? So I'm not going to show the book or say the name because I really don't want to hate on this author, but she's basically an indie author who I met, and she was so sweet. And her book is like a sci-fi type of vibe. I really love sci-fi, so I was really excited to read it, but unfortunately the characters were just too toxic, and overall it just felt really gross. I read it in one sitting because it was really short, but I don't know, I just didn't love it. It felt too toxic, too like physical of a relationship, even though like it didn't really have any spice. It just felt uncomfortable, the whole thing, and the characters didn't really vibe with me, and I felt like they didn't really have a connection. She's a local author and she lives in the same country that I do, and I haven't really read anything by an author from my country before, so I was really excited. However, it definitely did disappoint me. I would still love to give the author another chance because she's so sweet. I just feel like that book wasn't for me, and it was just quite a bit of a disappointment. Question number 6 is, what's the biggest surprise of the year? For this, I'm gonna have to go with The Super Secret Octagon Valley Society by Melissa de la Cruz. I hope that's how you say it. I'm guessing she's Hispanic. I've read another book by her and I didn't really love it. It was like a 3.5 star, which isn't bad, but not like great. But this one, it's a middle grade novel, so it's a little cliche and stuff, but I don't know, something about the narration style, I absolutely loved it. And it's basically about like 8 kids who took a test and they were chosen to go and spend the weekend at this like really cool institute that's like very high tech and like sci-fi and stuff. And I love that from the back of the book, you can really tell that the narrator kind of has beef with one of the characters for like no reason. I mean, it is explained in the book, but from the very beginning, she just kind of hates on this guy even before we know why. And it's just kind of hilarious. And I really love just the humor in this book. It's really cute and it's very also appropriate for kids. Obviously, it's middle grade, but I would say it's also great for all ages. Question number 7 is new favorite author. I'm gonna have to go with Holly Jackson. I don't know if she's the only author I've read multiple books by this year, but I definitely loved it. Like I said, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder was a 4.5 and The Reappearance of Rachel Price was a 5-star, and I'm honestly super excited to read more books by her. I have made the decision not to continue with The Good Girl's Guide to Murder trilogy and read it as a standalone, just because I've heard that the ending is kind of bittersweet and also that the last book is a little bit darker, and I just don't think I can handle that. But I would still love to read Five Survive, and if she ever publishes more books, hopefully she will, I would love to read them. Question number 8 is new fictional crush. For this, I'm gonna have to go with Hideo Tanaka. Again, not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, but he's in the book Warcross by Mary Lou, which is about like video games, and Warcross is like this kind of virtual reality video game that everyone in this world loves and plays, and it follows Emika, who accidentally hacks herself into the game and ends up throwing herself into this world, and she's sent to Tokyo to like participate and also on like a kind of secret mission. And Hideo is the developer of the game, the creator, and the CEO of like the company, and I just really loved his character. I'm so excited for book 2. Also a little bit nervous because if you've read this book, you know it ends on quite a bit of a cliffhanger. I don't know why I haven't picked it up yet. Honestly, I think I'm just kind of nervous, but I'm really excited and hopefully it's gonna have a nice ending for both of our characters. So the next question, question number 9, is new favorite character. For this, I'm gonna have to go with Sawyer Taft from Little White Lies by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I absolutely love this book. It was a 5-star for me. It's my absolute favorite by her that I've read. I love the humor in this one. I love the characters. I love Sawyer so much. She's a tomboyish girl. She doesn't follow the usual not like other girls trope where she's tomboyish but she doesn't get along with other girls. She's such a girl's girl. Like, even though she doesn't love the whole debutante scene and everything, Sawyer is a girl's girl and I love her for that. And if you don't know what this book is about, basically Sawyer and her mom have always kind of lived together. They're kind of not poor, but they live in this like poor area and they have to work, and like her mom's a bit of a mess. But then her grandma just only shows up and offers her like a bunch of money to spend the debutante season with her and go to live on her house. So Sawyer does that, and there's a lot of mysteries and a lot of secrets and drama, and I absolutely loved it. Question number 10 is a book that made you cry. For this one, it's gonna have to be This Time It's Real by Anne Liang. I love this book. It's cute. It's not a sad book, but you have to understand that I cry with almost every book, even if it doesn't have a sad ending. And this one, something happened in it. I'm not gonna spoil it or anything, but there's a bit of a thing that, like, you know that it's not gonna have a sad ending, but it still felt like a shock to me, and it still made me sob my eyes out like a drama queen. Like, this author was trying to break my heart and she did it. And if you don't know, this book is basically a fake dating, but he's also a famous actor kind of vibe, and it takes place in Beijing, and I just loved it. It's so cute. Question number 12 is favorite book to movie adaptation you've seen so far. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I've only watched movies of books that I haven't read the books for this year. I know, that's like a crime, but I honestly have no excuse. I don't know, like I've seen movies that I've loved and they were based on books, and currently I'm even watching a show that's based on a book, but I haven't read the book. I would love to, but I don't know. I know that I'm not supposed to do that, but what can I say? Question 13 is most beautiful book you've bought this year. I'm gonna have to go with this special edition. It's so pretty. Honestly, haven't read the book. Don't know if I'm gonna love it, but I do know that I love the edition. And it's The first time that I have a book with sprayed edges like this, where it's like stenciled, it's so pretty. I love it. Last but not least, we have question number 14, which is what books do you really need to read by the end of this year? Honestly, quite a few. I really want to continue with sequels of books that I've already started, especially like the ones that I'm close to finishing. I have a couple of duologies I'm in the middle of that I feel like it's just one book left. I should just finish it. And then I would also love to read more of the books in my 24 books for 2024 because I've only read 4. I've read like 19 books by now, and I've only read 4 from that list. So I don't think I'm gonna finish it, honestly, but at least I would like to read half of the books there. But if I had to choose one book that I'm like, I definitely need to read this by the end of the year, it would probably be Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. I've heard so many amazing things about this book. I don't know, I haven't read it yet, honestly. I've heard that this is like one of the best rom-coms ever, and everyone loves it. I'm so excited. I know I'm not going to be reading the sequel because I hate Second Chance and I need my happy endings. So I'm not saying the second book doesn't have a happy ending. I'm just saying I'm not going to read it. But this one, however, I'm so excited for, and I've always wanted to read a Lynn Painter book. Generally don't know what's stopping me, other than maybe like fear that it's going to be overhyped, but I don't think it's going to be. So I'm just gonna give it a chance and hopefully get to it soon. So that would be all the questions for today's video. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, feel free to like and subscribe and turn on the post notifications if you want to see every time that I post a new video. And that will be it for today's video. Bye!